Yo, what is going on, peasants? My name is JB, and I'm here today with my Week 11 matchup in the IBL. This week we are taking on Matt O'Shea, coach of the Montreal Milotics. And this is a game I've been looking forward to for a long time. I've been looking forward to playing Matt for a while. I was in a league with him previously, where the league died right before we were about to play, so I've been wanting to play Matt for a little bit, and I'm excited for it. We've been in a few front offices together. I don't really know him all that well, but I know he's a very good player, and I've wanted to play him for a while, so I'm pretty excited about this game. Unfortunately, he's in a position where his season was pretty much over going into this game. He took over this team mid-season, so it wasn't really his fault per se, but yeah, he had a pretty low season, but his team is pretty scary. I'll just go over his full roster real quick. He has the Landers Styrian, which was his only Z move user, Serena, Gardevoir, Suicune, Mega Pinsir, Registeel, Dragalge, Jolteon, Zangoose, and Vullaby. You can see the 16 ended up bringing with the Gardevoir, the Mega Pinsir, the Dragalge, the Suicune, Zangoose, and the Serena. Going in, I knew Zangoose was actually a pretty damn big threat because that thing just hits ridiculously hard with the Sod. Suicune is obviously one of the most annoying Pokemon in existence. Gardevoir is also a pretty big threat as well. My team doesn't like switching into Psychic too much, aside from Incineroar, and the fact that I take neutral damage to Fairy isn't, exactly good with that. And yeah, aside from that, just pretty much standard draft league sort of stuff. Let's go ahead and go over the squad I'm bringing though. You can see the 6 are the Incineroar, the Mega Diancie, Mesprit, Milotic, his mascot, which is funny, Toxicroak, and Raichu. So since we are bringing, we're Scarf Mesprit with Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Psychic, and U-Turn. Basically, it's just there to speed top with Gardevoir. We just went max. He doesn't have very many switch-ins to Bulk Beam coverage at all, and then Psychic helps hit stuff like the Dragalge, as well as just, doing, more damage to stuff like, that's neutral, like Jolteon or Zangoose or whatever. Yeah. Not Serena, I have Ice Beam for Serena. But yeah, just basically, just nice neutral coverage for the other things. Mega Diancie with Stealth Rock, Power Gym, Earth Power, and Hidden Power Ice with enough speed for Mega Pinsir, obviously, and it's basically just a super effective button. It's the only rocker we brought because I didn't want to put rocks on Scarf Mesprit as some douchebag drives his humongous truck compensating for his tiniest of penises. I hate living in the country sometimes, but yeah, I think I went over the moves. They were Stealth Rock, Power Gym, Earth Power, Hidden Power Ice, speed for Pinsir. I got distracted by that douchebag. Anyway, yeah, it's just basically here to click super effective button, do other things. Next up we have Flame Orb, Milotic, just standard with Mirror Coat, Scald, Ice Beam, and Recover. The plan here was to, catch like a Draco from Dragalge and get a kill with Mirror Coat, or more, likely the Volt Switch from a Jolteon, kill that. We have speed on that, which for like a potential Suicune creep, just to, do that sort of thing. Next up is the Incineroar, which was Substitute, Fire Blast, Dark Pulse, and Nasty Plot with speed for uninvested Serena, and yeah, it honestly just put in a ton of work. He doesn't really have a whole lot of switch-ins to Incineroar's dual stab, especially if I'm able to get a Nasty Plot up. We have Toxicroak with a Life Orb for attack set, Ice Punch, Poison Jab, Drain Punch, and Sucker Punch. Life Orb, Ice Punch does like 70 to like an offensive, 70 to 80 to an offensive Land of T if it wants to switch into Ice Punch. Otherwise, it's just coverage moves for the rest of his team. Speed is on that we have for speed for Gardevoir. And then last but not least, we have an Expert Belt Raichu with Thunderbolt, Hidden Power Ice, Knockoff, and Volt Switch with speed for the Mega Pinsir. Again, basically just a lot of just click super effective button forehead sort of gameplay this week. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into the game. You'll have to forgive me, it's been close to 2 weeks since this game has happened, and I just had a really weird week and got around to editing and, post-comming this later. Which is why it's post-com, by the way. And you'll see another reason why it's post-com when we get a little bit into the game. So he's going to lead with the Gardevoir as I lead with my Incineroar. He's going to trace my Intimidate, which would normally be pretty annoying for an Incineroar if I wasn't, sub-Nasty Plot like a madman. So, knowing that this thing can't really do much to me and thinking that he'd be fearing, taking a fire move, because even at -1 it's still going to do a ton, I decided to set up a sub turn 1 as he actually does the same, which is interesting. So we're both going to sub up a little bit. I did have a sub number on this as well. You can see I have 200 HP just so I can get an extra sub. which I'm now realizing does not matter if you don't have leftovers. Don't pay attention to me. I'm not smart. I don't like running substitute. You guys know I don't usually run it, but I decided to do it. And every time I do it, I never get the sub number right. Like I never get it right. Like you need to be one above. You know, yeah, whatever. You guys know sub numbers. You're smart. But he called mine design nasty plots, so we're kind of just setting up in each other's faces. And unfortunately, he's gonna come out on the winning end of this unless I nasty plot twice, because he's not gonna be actually taking too much from my +2 attacks, as you will see here in a second. But he's just gonna go for a Moonblast, which at +1 does unfortunately break my sub. Even I'm, you know, neutral, I broke my sub because Incineroar's Spadef is not exactly that great. Even though, you know, I had a lot of HP, but still, you know, it's a Gardevoir, it's a pretty strong mon. But I'm gonna go for Dark Pulse, which is, even with the crit, would obviously break the sub, because I am +2. And, you know, he's just gonna get some leftovers as I'm just like sitting here. Well, kinda not really digging this Incineroar set. Not exactly good against a Sub-Calm Mind Gardevoir, which, you know, yeah, he goes for Moonblast, and you can see just how ridiculous much that does, and how little my +2 Dark Pulse did, even though he's, you know, only -1 or +1 Spadef. So at this point, I'm just like, there's no real point in keeping this Incineroar around. There's nothing you can do. It's at 5 HP. I don't have a way to get recovery onto it, so I'm just like, screw it. I'm just gonna let this thing go down, and you know, unfortunately, just forfeit my sub nasty Palmon. But I can just bring in Toxicroak freely now because I know he's obviously not Scarf, and I can just click Poison Jab and kill like 12 Gardevoirs. But he makes a good play. I mean, obviously he was gonna switch, but you know, I wanted to kill the threat because that thing could potentially just run through my team. So I did decide to click Poison Jab on the Dracossack switch in, which, you know, it actually does a respectable amount of damage. Considering it's resisted. I am, you know, a Life Orb max attack Toxicroak, so you know it's gonna do a lot. As I decided to fire off an Ice Punch the next turn because I had to roll, it was a roll to kill actually, but, you know, I just decided, like, oh, fuck it, I'm gonna get the roll, and luckily I got the roll. So we actually, you know, managed to bring it back a little bit there, as he decides to go into his Mega Pinsir. And, you know, obviously there's no way I stay in. Quick Attack does pick me up because Toxicroak's defenses are non-existent, as I decided to go into Raichu on the Pinsir. And he's gonna Mega Evolve, and of course he's, I think he just goes for a Quick Attack, but he's gonna do, like, you know, a decent chunk because Raichu isn't exactly bulky. Actually, no, he decides to go for a Swords Dance, so getting a little bit greedy there because I do have the Raichu in the back, so yeah, he's gonna Swords Dance. Not really gonna get anything out of it as he does decide to switch, not wanting to let his Pinsir go down. He makes a good play going into the Tracemon, which at this point, you know, I totally forgot I had Trace. I was just like, you know, it's whatever. I could just go for a free Volt Switch or a Thunderbolt, and I'm like, oh, wait, is when he switched down. I'm like, yeah, he kind of has Trace, doesn't he? So I just give this thing a the freest +1 special attack boost this thing has ever seen because I am not smart. I am a great League player, definitely worthy of the hashtag top 30. What? I didn't say anything. Anyway, I'm just going to go for a knockoff because it actually does a decent chunk of damage to this thing. This is going to fire up a +1 Moonblast, which is, of course, just going to blow my Raichu into, you know, next week. That was a joke for those of you who don't get it. I know sarcasm is often missed in the Pokemon community, but I can just go into Diancie here. He doesn't really like switching into this thing, so I'm just going to Mega Evolve. And I believe I clicked Power Gem because it hits everything on this team for, you know, the best neutral damage at least. So yeah, I do believe I just clicked Power Gem, and yes, that is in fact what I clicked. And it does take down the threat that is the Gardevoir, thankfully. Thankfully, we avoid that because that was getting pretty bad. Gardevoir is kind of a monster, and I kind of love that Pokemon. But he's going to go into Serena, not wanting to risk a random Scarf Serena. I decided to switch out because I don't want to take a Power Whip to the face or a Chop Kick and lose my Diancie. When I have a Toxicroak right here that, you know, walls this thing pretty well. I'm not sure if Serena gets in Headbutt, but I don't think he'd bring it specifically for Toxicroak, although he could. That is a great player. Wouldn't put it past him, but, you know, that's what I had to risk. So he's going to bring in the gigantic threat that is Fredward, the Zangoose, and I'm just going to go for a Sucker Punch to get damage off on this thing because I don't switch in well to it. I need a little bit of chip for, you know, my faster things to be able to get rid of it from where it's at, but he's just going to click Facade, and that's going to kill like an entire family of Toxicroaks, which is unfortunate because, you know, Toxicroak, you know, kind of like that mod, but it doesn't exactly lift hits, so I can just bring my Scarf from Esprit in now, and I do believe I just clicked Psychic here. Yes, I do, which at this range will pick off the Zangoose, thankfully. I did get a kill, but, you know, it didn't run through my team, which it definitely had the potential to do. So he managed to avoid that. He goes into Tempest, which is the Suicune. And oh my god, is it the Suicune? Boys, this is not gonna be pretty. Because I decided to go Milotic against the Suicune. And see, he fires off the Toxic, which is just the worst. Well, yeah, this is not exactly good because, you know, I have my Flame Orb, but now I'm Toxic, which is worse because, you know, I'm going to be taking more damage. And I just decided to switch out here to see what he wants to go for, and not really wanting to have a fat water off. I decided to go into Mesprit just so I can click Thunderbolt and, you know, go from there. As he reveals Whirlpool. Yeah, this is a Toxic Whirlpool Suicune. Why? Why? Oh, it also has Protect. Yeah. With yeah. This is the second problem. Oh god, you guys can see where this game is going from here, and I am not all that happy about it. He has a Toxic, Protect, Whirlpool Suicune. And I just decided to go Melodic because I really have nothing better than wants to sit in front of this. My only real way of winning is keeping Mesprit alive and sacking and, you know, clicking the correct super effective move when I get the chance to. And Melodic is essentially useless at this point. He has the Serena and the Pinsir left. I have Melodic. I have the two things I have left besides Melodic, the Diancie and the Mesprit, both have Speed Pinsir, and can both do a decent chunk to the Serena as well. And you know, as long as he's not banded, I should live one Trop Kick from Diancie. So my play here is to basically try to get any damage I can off with Melodic on the Suicune, while not letting my other two mons get Whirlpooled and trapped and residual. So he's gonna fire off the Whirlpool. At some point, I think I go for a Scald. Ironically this turn, you know, I'm hoping for the burn, you know, just get some, you know, residual damage on this thing as well. But of course not. That would be just too much to ask for, apparently. As my Melodic is unfortunately getting incredibly weakened, so my thought process was like, there's no real point keeping this alive. I'm honestly just gonna let it go down. So he decides to go for Protect, which you know, he's going for Protect every other turn, and I decided to go for Recover just to, you know, sort of you know, make, you know, just waste time, I guess. I had a reason, but I don't really remember it because this game was a while ago, and, you know, I don't really remember. I think it was just I wanted to get off another couple Scalds to, you know, try to get the, you know, burn. I'm pretty sure is what I was going for. That would make sense, as I don't live the next round of Toxic / Whirlpool damage, so I think I recover one more time. No, I just go for Mirror Coat. I get off like a solid 6 damage. That's a good play, dude. I don't know why. Why didn't I Scald that turn? I think I just gave up and decided to click Protect because I was an asshole. I should have definitely Scalded there and tried to get the burn. I don't really know what that play was about. So I go to Diancie here. I decide I want to get Rocks up because that guaranteed puts Pinsir in range of Psychic, so I can lock myself into Psychic and not have to lock myself into either Thunderbolt or Ice Beam, which is not super effective on one of Serena or Suicune. So I can just either click Psychic, hope for Spadef drops, and that I feel is my best way of winning. I'm able to get some Power Gem chip off too, which is nice. So potentially putting this thing in range of 2 Psychics is very useful. So he goes for the Whirlpool and traps my Diancie, and well, that's gonna be a thing that happens now, isn't it? So yeah, my Diancie's trapped now. I'm able to get up another, at least, looks like gonna be 2. Nope. Power Gems. Yeah, you know, whatever. Whatever. It's whatever, man. It's fine. It's fine. I didn't need that Power Gem damage. Nah, I didn't need that. I should be able to get one off here though, because I don't think he goes for Double Protect. He might. He probably should go for Double Protect. He doesn't lose anything from it. Nope, he doesn't go for Double Protect, so I'm able to get off a little bit more Power Gem chip, which at this point, it's looking like it's pretty much in range of Psychic at this point, maybe. But he's probably going to go for Protect one more time and get another round of leftovers, so it's going to be just out of range of Psychic from Mesprit, unfortunately. So I am going to have to, you know, play around with a Spadef drop potentially, and letting myself get, or not letting myself, but getting myself Whirlpooled again, or even Toxic, which basically limits my turns, that I could hope for spit F drops, and this is hoping that he's not even AB Serena, which I'm pretty sure he might have shown leftovers. I don't really remember at this point, but that's just me being bad. So yeah, it's Mesprit versus the world at this point, and I'm not even a full health Mesprit. With Rocks up though, I do beat the Pinsir. I just need spit F drop on. I need either this Psychic to kill or spit F drop to, I do avoid that Toxic, which is nice. Which I forgot about that. But I need the spit F drop on Serena to a KO. So that's my only real way of winning, is getting that spit F drop. I see this decides to go for Protect, just waste more time, get a little bit of leftovers recovery, and maybe live the Psychic. Maybe it was a roll. I'm not really sure. I think he just wanted to potentially get out of range was his reasoning for doing that. But he is of course going to switch out into the Peach Pod, which is the this thing, the Serena, which is still at full health. So like I said, I need the spit F drop to potentially to a KO this. I keep the Psychic off, and as you can see, it does a solid chunk. If I get the spit F drop, I have a chance, but he is in fact leftovers, so I don't get the spit F drop, and this game is basically over at this point. I go for another Psychic, just to hope it gets dope. And you can see he makes a really, smart play. Or no, he goes for Synthesis this turn, which does put him out of range of a crit. Smart play. But I believe next turn he goes for Rapid Spin to remove the rocks and just preventing any chance he has from losing the pins, or losing, basically. It gets rid of any chance he has to lose the game by going for Rapid Spin here. Because like I still could have got the spin F drop and potentially won that way, or potentially crit at some point. But yeah, he's gonna Rapid Spin. And shooting his Pinsir really made it full, and I can't kill it with Psychic. I can't kill it with Psychic, so yeah, he made the correct play to ensure he won the game. And I'm just going to click Psychic one more time, as I believe he goes for a U-turn into his Pinsir. Yes, that's what he does. And he's just going to be able to finish me off with Quick Attack at this point, because yeah, that's the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. Not exactly a fun game, but Matt did what he had to do to win the game. I respect it. It's whatever. I played a good match, which is more important than other things at this point in the season. Even though my season's still alive and he's just playing playoff spoiler, which he has a very real chance to do, because deja vu, boys and girls. We played Brendan in week 12, and basically it's win or go home again. If you guys remember back from the PCL, we had this exact same scenario there, where if I won, or whoever won the game got into playoffs. Brendan has already locked playoffs in the IBL because we had an unfortunate drop, so that secured him a playoff spot. If I lose by 2-0 or more, I am out of playoffs. If I win, I'm good. So I just need to win, and should be fine, right? All I have to do is beat Brendan. This team's gross. This team's really gross. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead in this here. GG to Matt, of course. Go check him out. His link will be in the description. He just hit 500 subs, so that's pretty cool. Get me to like 73 and I'll be happy. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.